Hello, what a lovely day, and welcome to Benjy's Cafe podcast. Joining me this week is the actor and TikTok star, Kitty Harris. Kitty pops into Benjy's Cafe having most recently sung the national anthem in front of 82,000 people at the Alliance Stadium, ahead of the men's Guinness Six Nations Calcutta Cup clash between England and Scotland. A TikTok sensation with 1.2 million followers, at Christmas Kitty starred as Cinderella at the Grand Theatre Blackpool, opposite Coronation Street's Hayley Tamerton and Britain's Got Talent finalist Steve Royal. Her theatre credits include Stand By Ali in the world premiere of the new musical Burlesque, and young Heather in the UK and Ireland tour of the Take That musical Greatest Days. And on TV, she has appeared in ITV's hit soap Emmerdale. In this lovely episode, Kitty shares her joy of performing, embracing challenges, and maintaining a positive outlook on life and the future.
There's no point taking things too seriously. Just be happy. I'd rather have, if this is my last day, who knows? I'm always a bit like, I don't know if this is my last day, so I'm going to have the best day ever. Why not? And yeah, there is down times, but like I said, cry it out and then pick yourself back up. Because yeah, it's not worth it. And there's always a solution. I've found there's always a way, so yeah, you just gotta work on it and be happy.
Kitty has just been nominated for Best Principal Lead in the 2025 UK Pantomime Awards and is fast becoming one of the bright stars online and in British theatre. She's brilliant. Welcome to Benjy's Cafe podcast, Kitty Harris. Good morning, Kitty. How are you?
Good, thank you, Ben. It's so great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, welcome to Benjy's Cafe podcast. It's an absolute delight. What a start to the day. And you've had amazing news. You've just found out you've been nominated for Best Principal Lead in the UK Pantomime Awards. Hello.
Crazy. I'm so thrilled. It was such a nice surprise this morning. As I said before, I was just, sat watching RuPaul's Drag Race as I do in the morning. Puts me in a good mood. And then I get that message and I'm like, wow, this is going to be the best day ever.
Yeah. Hey, RuPaul's Drag Race and a UK Panto Award nomination. That's better than a full English for breakfast. That's what I say.
Right?
But yeah, you play Cinderella at the Grand Theatre Blackpool, Kitty. Firstly, what a venue. My goodness, you must have wonderful memories of the panto and probably going there as a youngster, I imagine.
Absolutely. So obviously I'm born and bred in Blackpool. I'm a Blackpool girl. And I've obviously walked past the Grand Theatre all of my life so far, every day. If I'm ever in town, I'm always like, wow, admiring how beautiful the theatre is. And, I used to go there as a child and watch all the shows. And I always loved the dome. Like, it has a dome, doesn't it? Of the theatre. And I just love that. Always looking up. And, yeah, no, it's such a gorgeous theatre, and everybody that works there, especially with my experience, was incredible. Like, what a season we had. It was fabulous.
It's like such a great venue. It is quite literally so grand, but also quite intimate, isn't it? I think it lends itself so well to pantomime, where you can really feed off the audience, can't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was so great. And the Grand, like, I have so many memories, and it's important to me because my father, the late Keith Harris, a ventriloquist, he obviously performed there so many times and did the summer season there, and it sold out. And, my dad had the world record not the world record, gosh. Yeah, he had the record for selling most seats in a summer season. And I always have to say this, but now they've taken the seats out so no one can beat the record. I love that one.
He deserves it. Your dad was brilliant, Kitty. I saw your dad and Orville the Duck. Gosh, it would have been... I'm a Brummie boy, so my home theatre, yours was the Grand in Blackpool, mine was the Birmingham Hippodrome, and I saw your dad in Panto there. Gosh, it was probably mid-80s, realistically, probably before you were born, Kitty. And what a pro at that age, going into the business, to see one of your heroes from TV on stage live, and was so good, so professional, top of his game. He was just wonderful, and you must be so proud of his career.
Oh, I am, honestly. Like, oh, I just remember Dad so much. Like, he was always talking about the next thing, you know. He was so just loved show business. He loved it. He loved this industry and he had so much passion and, you know, especially with pantomime. I remember actually kind of a full circle moment, as you just said, in the Birmingham Hippodrome. He actually did perform there again and I got to see him. And he was there with Joan
Oh,
Collins. Yeah, Nigel
my
Havers.
God.
And Julian Clary, yeah, it was
Oh,
amazing.
what a cast. What a
What a
cast.
cast! It was, yeah, definitely one of the top pantomimes. And yeah, it was fabulous, and I was always so proud of him. I mean, me and my brother, we know the his script off by heart. Watched him that many times, but it never got old. We always still laugh. We always found it funny. Yeah, he was just an absolute star, such a legend. I feel so grateful, and to have half of him in me, I'm yeah, a very
Uh,
lucky girl.
Oh, and there must have been such a beautiful whiff of showbiz in your household growing up, Kitty. I'm sure he was away working a lot. Like what a work rate, what a work ethos and busy schedule. But do you think his role within the business kind of rubbed off on you from an early age? Would you say?
I think so. I mean, I always wanted to be in the show. It's kind of all I knew because from a very
Yeah.
young age, you know, I think I was like born, and then the day after, I was like watching one of his shows. I was just literally just coming to the world. So I was kind of thrusted into it. But I always liked dancing, you know, I always wanted to do it. I was never forced. Yeah, my mum and dad, they never forced me to do it. It was always what I wanted to do. And yeah, I can't imagine myself doing anything else. There's times in my life where I've thought, oh, you know, this industry is so difficult, and can I do it? And do I want, you know, a
Yeah.
lot of practice and everything everybody goes through. But I just know I keep coming back to it because it's part of me. I love it. So
Yeah,
I
it's
love
so ingrained, isn't it, Kitty? It's like likewise between acting jobs over the years. I do panto, of course, but over the years I've thought
yeah,
between, when I've been out of work and quite low, right, I can become an Uber driver, I could become a carpenter. Do you know what I mean? All these random thoughts. Then, of course, you don't know from week to week, your life and career could change. And then as soon as you get that little buzz, that little hit of an audition, even an audition or a chance to self-tape, it's like, no, this is what I'm meant to be doing. I feel happy inside, you know?
exactly. So true.
It is, but do you find it's kind of interesting that if you've got like a nice sort of plateau of life, you can sort of cope with the ups and downs, can't you? Do you have little things in place like exercise, spending time with friends that just keep you kind of not grounded, but just in a
Yeah.
better position mentally, would you say, to deal with those ups and downs, Kitty?
Yes, yeah, and you need to. And I do always think it's good to cry. I think, you know, if you're feeling
Oh,
this way, let it out because, you know, it
yeah.
means that you care about what you do and, you know, wouldn't be upset if blah, 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 etc., etc. But then you have to kind of also take a step back and look at what you've already done. You know, I think, wow, like, look at the things I've just achieved. Like, that's amazing as it is. And also book a holiday, get away,
Oh,
have a
well,
reset if you can.
you've just been away, haven't you? And like, in all seriousness, of course, we love a little, well, in my case, a little mocktail these days.
Oh, oh,
But how lovely just to get away and recharge if you can, and even if that means just spending a bit of time at home, taking a little walk every so often. But the business is crazy; it can be so busy and overbearing and overpowering, can't it? But is that so important? Do you think to have a little recharge when you can? Because you've been so busy.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, I'm such a hard worker and a worker. You know, I love working, and I'm just like, oh, what's the next thing? And you know, but then I've
Yeah.
realised when I'm on holiday, and I always sit there and I think, you know, it takes me a couple of days to get into it, and then I'm like, oh, why didn't I do this more? Like, you know, and if you can, you know, like you said, even going for a walk or just going to see your friends or something,
Yeah.
it's good to do it for your brain and for your body and for yourself. So
Oh, completely. Well, if you can't get away in the next few weeks, Kitty, I'll send you up a deck chair and you can get on Blackpool Beach and catch
lovely.
some rays. And the sun's coming out. Why not?
We're doing good, yeah. A bit of sun.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, congrats on your nomination. I think it's fantastic. There was a real little buzz about your panto. I was in Mansfield this year, and you could just tell from the socials that you were posting, cast members, Hayley, Steve, the theatre, UK Productions, but it just looks, and I love Cinderella. I think it's my favourite panto out of all of them, but it looks such a beautiful show. And then I saw, I think it was a clip of end of Act 1, you singing Defy Gravity. I was like, is this footage from Broadway? I was like, what? I was like, my God, like the stamina to do that. You nailed it. Was it hard? Like, it's 12 a week, isn't it? My God, but amazing.
Thank you so, so much. It was really, really tough. But, you know, I like to challenge myself. I like to push myself. I was saying, oh, well, if Elphaba can do it 8 times a week, I'm going to give it a go. But then I realised she obviously didn't really do that many shows either. They got alternate. But, you know, I love a challenge. But no, it was great. It was good. And it was good that, you know, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. And I did a lot of prep towards it. You know, I was warming up every day, thinking about how much I drank. Or, you know, you've got to think about these things. And I think if you're put into a role that relies on you, you know, you've just got to do that. And that was okay because I loved it and I had the most fun. And it felt very rewarding every day performing that twice a day, especially the 10 a.m. shows. But it was fab, and I am glad they did it. I'm glad that they gave me to sing that because it was a challenge, and I think that's what it's about. It's about growing and learning, and I think it was great, but it was hard. So I did it. So woo.
You sure did. My goodness, you sounded amazing. But what I love is that you seem so driven, Kitty, and to embrace those challenges along the way, especially in the grueling schedule of panto. That should be admired. I think you should be so proud of that work ethic.
Thank you.
What I admire, you're so driven, Kitty, and that work ethic is so admirable. Because it's quite easy, isn't it, to, you know, you can go into a contract and think, oh, I can just get through this. But I love the fact that you're giving yourself challenges along the way, and I think that's leading to all your success as well.
Oh, thank you. But I do think, you know, I think pantomime it sometimes gets knocked, especially nowadays, and I hate that because it's such a big thing, and it always was. To me, it was all my life. Every single Christmas there was a pantomime. You know, in my house, that's what it was all about. And I think it's so lovely that it brings people together, you know, every age, and it's just fab that everyone can sit and just have a laugh for a minute and let go, not take life too seriously. So yeah, I'm really, really, really proud of our company this year, for just, you know, really putting on a good pantomime and being true to the story, but also including some, you know, modern things. And, you know, everybody just enjoyed it, and it just feels really, really good that we got that recognition.
Yeah, and working, of course, with the wonderful Hayley Tamadern and Steve Royal, such characters, such pros as well. What a great cast there. And did you learn a lot from them? Must have been so lovely to be on stage with, you know, with such quality.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, I'm so lucky. I've always loved Steve, and obviously it was so nice that I got to finally work with Hayley too, who has literally inspired me for a long time. And I met her back in 2022, and she really, really helped me with my acting, and with just everything really. Much of a life coach she is, you know, she's fab, and it was so great. It was so great. We had such a laugh, and it was just so nice to have her support as well. And we just had the best time. I always learn from everybody. I learned so much from Steve. He made me laugh every night, every day. He's hilarious. I just loved watching him, especially in that ballet scene. He'd always catch me out, and I love it. I think they're fabulous. I really do. And, you know, it proves why they're so successful still and have been all their life, and I'm just so grateful I get to look up to them, and be on the stage with them. Yeah, it means the world to me.
They're wonderful, and congratulations to Steve as well. You know, recognised with his Best Comic nomination. Just fantastic. Hey, hopefully they're getting the fireworks ready up in Blackpool for you, Kitty, for you and Steve.
I know.
How lovely you could be with people over Christmas, to have a laugh with, support each other. And there's so much to be said, I think, in whatever you do, if you can just have a chuckle each day. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. We was having laughs all day. It was so great. It was such a team, and I really think that that's important, especially within a cast. And it really was. We just had the best time. Honestly, if I could repeat, I would every year. Every year it was fab. It was fab. Yeah,
Oh,
they were
I'm sure you'll be back, Kitty. I'm sure I'm sure, no doubt they love you in Blackpool. But what a wonderful experience. Talking of experiences, my goodness, you've just sung at the Alliance Stadium now, formerly Twickenham, of course, for England, Scotland, Calcutta Cup Clash, Six Nations. You sang the anthem, 82,000 people. My God, how was that? Because it's literally just like, it's not like a show. You can not ease into it, but you've got, you can pace yourself over 2 hours. It's like one shot, isn't it?
oh
And
my goodness.
82,000 people. How was that?
Oh my gosh. Wow, what an honor. It was incredible. I've never felt anything like that performing wise. It was just breathtaking. It really was. And it's actually quite a funny story that people wouldn't really know. But literally, because it's so quick, because obviously it's TV, so they all have to do it, really quickly, and it's all on a schedule. And I just sang Jerusalem basically for the stadium. That kind of wasn't shown on TV, but
Right.
it's for everybody there, and they have entertainment, so it's a really good day. And I just finished that. And then the lady, bless her, is just pulling me down the stairs. I had to go through the tunnel where obviously all the rugby players come out. And I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? And then she's like, so we're just going to change your pants because we really need to, because I had these like kind of snake print trousers on, so I was trying to be a bit edgy. And then they said, no, we need them to be plain. I wish they told me that earlier, but anyways, and luckily I knew one of the girls there who was doing the interviewing, and she said, "You can wear my pants." And we literally we were thrown into a bathroom, changed pants, and within 2 minutes I was walking on the pitch, just about to sing the national anthem, and this had just happened.
Oh my! Did that throw you, or did you? I guess you just had to embrace the madness of it all, didn't you?
Well, thank God I'm used to quick changes, but we were flung into this bathroom and I just stripped. I was like, well, I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Let's just do it. And I thought I had a minute to get myself together. No, it was like 1, 2, 3, off you go. And I was like, okay, I'm on the pitch now.
Oh,
And then, but I think for me, that was actually better for some reason. I didn't have time to overthink it. I just was flung and I thought, well, it's now or never.
I love the fact that there was a pitchside reporter in your leopard skin pants as well,
She was just
rocking
stood
giving it
there.
Rod Stewart in the interviews.
She was just there in her pants. I felt terrible. But bless her. But
Oh,
oh, what a funny thing to happen. But it was yeah, it was amazing. Like just oh gosh, there really is nothing like it. And I had the in-ears in, so obviously I couldn't
yeah.
really say much. But oh my gosh, when I started singing and then everybody joined in, wow, it was just like woof, it was so good. It just felt so good that the country was just together, and oh, it was just amazing. I loved it. I felt so proud.
What a huge honour to be singing the anthem. I think it's fantastic, and to get that swell of response from the crowd there must have been fantastic. Very different to theatre, of course, but you seem to be giving everything a bit of a go, which I love. The fact that you're embracing the business, Kitty, and life. Is that something that you're intending to do? That just to dip your toe in a lot of things, just to
I think
keep
so.
busy, keep learning.
I think so, absolutely. I mean, I've always said I'm a bit of an all-rounder. Never really wanted to be in a box. I just knew I wanted to be Kitty Harris, and I have a go at everything. I
Yeah.
really do like that. And, I struggled in life with what I did want to do. First, I wanted to be in musicals when I was very young, and then I wanted to be a pop star, studied triple music and did all that. I wanted to be like Beyonce. And then and then it was lockdown, and then I became on TikTok and I was doing comedy and acting, and I thought, well, maybe this is the way forward. And then I always enjoyed it though as well. And then I got the opportunity to audition for Greatest Days, and that role was amazing. That Heather that I played she was so funny, she was so me, and it really, really got me back into the industry. Because I was in a relationship as well at the time before, and I just lost my way a bit, I have to say.
Yeah.
drinking every weekend. I just wasn't in a good headspace. I didn't want to do the industry. I wanted a 9 to 5 job, doing anything. I just, you go through these stages of life, and I definitely did. And then I got that opportunity to be in that UK tour, and gosh, thank God I did it. It changed my life. It really, really did. And I had the best time on that as well. And then obviously I didn't sing much on that show. It was quite heavily acting, and obviously the lads that kind of
Yeah.
took the roles of Take That, they did all the singing, and I just had to sing. I think I had one line that I was very proud of, a solo line, and it was in Back for Good, and it was got a fist of pure emotion, got a head of shattered dreams. That was my line, and I was very proud to have that line. Um,
Love it. Love it.
Thanks. And then obviously, after that, Burlesque came around, which, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what a show and what a role! Like, for since I was a little girl, I remember watching Burlesque and being like, that's it, that's what I want to do. She's me, I am her, I love it. That was everything. And I actually incorporated a lot of the songs in my own gigs. And I always knew in my heart one day I would do that role. I didn't know where, when, and it was such a long audition process. No, kept getting knocks, and I kept saying, no, I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and it was amazing. It's so just my dream. It really, really was. Gosh, I feel very proud right now. I don't think I've actually, looked back, and I'm ticking all these boxes, and this is amazing. I'm proud of Kit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's fantastic. I think it's very easy to forget what one achieves in life, and because we're always looking for the next thing, or there's so many things to worry about often in everyday life, that I think it's wonderful that you can recognize what you have achieved, because you've achieved so much. I love the fact that you really had a feeling, had a hunch that you were going to do burlesque one day, so to be in the world premiere, it's just wonderful and so deserved.
I'm talking about before on me kind of dipping myself into everything. I would really, really love to try and get into a bit more acting. Like, I'd love to be in a comedy sitcom, as we all would. But and in a soap, like I just feel like I'd love to do that. I had a bit of a taste when I was in Emmerdale in that small episode, but I loved it, and I thought, wow. And obviously being with Hayley and just talking to her about her experiences, and yeah, I'd really like the opportunity to have an audition for more TV stuff.
I've no doubt that's going to happen. You want it, you believe it, and there's a lot to be said, I think, for manifestation, isn't there, for putting your thoughts out there. And what I love as well is that for somebody so talented, at one point you were thinking, during COVID and before Greatest Days, like, am I done? Is it just easier to kind of fall back? But how awful if you'd done that you hadn't tried, and just that first stepping stone of Greatest Days, you found your happiness again, didn't you, and your spark, and look at you, just look at those stepping stones. It's so great.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I think, I was just getting joy from being blackout drunk, and I will hold my hands up and say it, and that's not good. It's not good. I was only 22, which is still very young. And that's where I found my enjoyment for some reason, because there's a lot of pressure, especially with things like TikTok. I love it to bits, but once you get those followers, sometimes you feel the pressure of, I have to post a video every day, and it was okay in lockdown because I didn't have anything to do, whereas obviously then when things started opening again, you were going out seeing your friends, and then you felt guilty for seeing your friends when you should have been doing a video. There was a lot that I went through, and I think my only relaxation time was when I would drink and party, and I knew it wasn't right, but I was so glad that I kind of got the opportunity of Greatest Days to get me out of it, and knew that's where I needed to go. So yeah, very lucky.
I think it's so great. It's so great you recognise that, Kitty, and you acted on it. Likewise, and stressful periods, I'd turn to a can of Foster's midweek, a second can of Foster's, 3, just on that awful treadmill, and it just stifled my creativity, my anxiety just rocketed. I was, grey Ben, just lethargic. And the best thing that I did was recognise that it's just not serving me. And so huge kudos to you for recognizing, that at such a young age as well. And increasingly, I think, especially in the business, it's not a huge thing anymore, really. I saw went to see Now That's What I Call a Musical yesterday at the Empire, and chatting to my friend in the show there. Great show, by the way, loved it. Very nostalgic music wise.
I wanted to see that.
But it was just like, oh, do it. It's such fun. But I was like, oh, is it a sociable cast? He was like, well, sociable, yeah, which is fantastic. But, back in my day, touring was essentially an excuse for 12 months on the source. Yeah. It's so good things are beginning to shift.
They are. And I think it's because, I know it was hard back in the day to get auditions, but I do think, I've got so many talented friends and they're just not being seen. And I'm like, how? I feel lucky myself to have been in for a few things, but, it's so difficult. Yeah. And I think everybody, once they do now get a job, they're taking it a lot more seriously because it's, could mean your future.
What I love with your the TikTok success, that just rocketed and so great online, Kitty. Like, your content's fantastic. It's so interesting to hear the pressures that come with that. But that initial buzz, I imagine it's a buzz when you see your followers rise. Is that kind of crazy? And does it inspire you to keep posting more, initially?
Absolutely. I'm so grateful for all my friends, I call them my TikTok friends. It's just, they're just amazing, and they are so supportive. And I think, it was just great. I was like, this is me just being absolutely crazy and I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I just watch it and laugh at myself being like, what the hell? But if I can make other people laugh and feel happy about themselves, then I know I'm doing something right. And I had a lot of younger people message me and say, I was really upset today, but I watched one of your videos and it really made me smile. So, if I can do something like that for other people too, that's also making me have a good time, then I think that's good. We should try and stay in this happy, nice world. But yeah, there is obviously a downside, you feel the pressure, but I've learned as well now to just take a step back and, do what I want to do, and I will feel more inspired when I get an idea or something. And I think it's good, like I was saying about having a holiday, it's good to have a relax, sit back, get more inspiration, and then just do you, or just literally do your crazy stuff. I wasn't bothered that I put it on because I knew none of my friends were really on TikTok, and now everyone is, so I'm like, I can see all my stuff. But it doesn't matter.
I'm such an advocate of doing what makes you happy and embracing the silly, having a bit of fun, because ultimately it just doesn't matter, does it? And like you say, you've hit the nail on the head, Kitty. If you can have a good time and make other people happy in the process, that's just joyous, isn't it?
You're winning. You are winning. That's it. It's just, you get one life. I always say it, life is too short. Don't take it too seriously, because it's really not that deep. I used to think about a lot of things and really get upset about things, and then I think, why? What will be will be.
I completely agree, Kitty. There would have been, I'm sure, so many young people in the audience watching you in Greatest Days and Panto. No doubt you inspire a lot of young people who watch you on stage, Kitty. When you were younger, were there any, let's start with singers before actors, who inspired you that kind of maybe ignite that little spark in your performing career?
Oh, just anyone. I used to love just watching any performance. I take something from every performance. It might not be my taste, but I'll be like, oh, that's a really good idea. And I'm literally, you should see my notes on my phone. I'm always like, that's a good idea. Or I'll jot things down. Because I would one day like to put on my own shows and do things like that, because I love all that side of it too. But yeah, my dad for me was such a big inspiration. He really probably when he was a good singer, but so I do love Ariana Grande, I love Beyonce, I love Whitney, Christina Aguilera. For me, it's the ones that just really give it their all, and you see, even right now, I'm obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter. I'm loving what she's doing with just her ideas. I think it's great. It's just great. They were kind of my inspirations, I think, growing up. And like I said, my dad, definitely. I'll probably go away from this and think about others, but I'll be like, oh, I wish I said that. Yeah, like I used to listen to Freddie Mercury, like Queen,
Oh,
so much, and I was always inspired by just their performance was just everything, and they loved it. You can just see when a performer loves what they do, because it comes across, and it
yeah.
definitely comes across to me, especially when I watch things.
And I don't know about you, when you're watching people like Queen on stage, I saw the Stones live as well. Mick Jagger, my God, if I've got as much energy as he has at his
Wow.
age, I'll be happy, I tell you. But it's so inspiring, and what I love is growing up when I was watching things and just that little connection that something ignited in me that yeah, this is what I want to do. So in my case, it would have been like Morecambe and Wise, that era of comedy. I
Yeah.
just loved, and isn't it lovely when people nowadays they've loved the business for so long just to pursue that love and to become successful. It's so inspiring, isn't it? I think it's wonderful, and I think you should be so proud of everything you're achieving. It's great.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Yeah, no, I really agree. I just feel so lucky, and just this is my dream and it's the all I've wanted. So I'm really, really happy and yeah, it's hard work, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it and I wouldn't want to do anything else.
When you know by doing something you love, you'll make, as we touched on earlier, Kitty, that you're making a lot of people happy. It's so rewarding. It's great.
That was like one of my actual like dreams in life and like one of my goals where I can be like, I'm happy now. I really want to be on Strictly Come Dancing. Just like for me, because of the Blackpool Tower as well, I just want to go and be like, I've made
I
it to
know.
Blackpool.
Have you performed at the Tower already? Have you done any shows there?
So when I was younger, my dance
Oh,
school,
you'll be at
like,
home.
I know, and I was like, this would be so cute because sometimes, well, every time my dance school, not my dance school, but the dance school I went to, Langley's, they always get a contestant to use their studio. So I was like, how nice would it be if I was able to like go to the studio and be like practicing for Strictly? But that's also one of my dreams,
Ah,
so hopefully that happens one day.
hey, again, Kitty, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I can
Gonna
feel it.
happen then.
What I think, what I think is really cool and great is that through people who follow you on TikTok, they might be drawn to see you in the theatre. Likewise, you see TikTok personalities on Strictly shows like that. I think it's
Yeah.
great that's providing a platform that's free to hop on for you to get your content and be creative. That inadvertently is inspiring people to go and enjoy, live theatre or other things they might not necessarily experience at a young age.
Definitely, definitely. I do think it's really, really good that we've actually got a platform like TikTok and for people to just be themselves. Because on that app, you do just have to be yourself. I've seen a lot of things where obviously I do put a lot of work into my TikToks, but I see people editing too much, and I'm thinking it's not. Unfortunately, you just have to do something daft, and then you know be true to yourself, and that's where you get kind of the recognition. It's a bit odd, really, in a way. But I do think it's good that it's encouraging people to come and see live theatre because yeah, we needed more of that. And I think after lockdown, obviously, I think things have got better because I think everyone's been a bit more encouraged and it's exciting.
What I love as well, Kitty, is that you're so joyous. You've got a lovely energy, and isn't that lovely that you have that energy? Does that come from your parents? Would you say, or just the fact that you are so happy in what you're doing in your life?
I, you know what? I think after Dad passed away, I think I've realised that life is too short. There's no point taking things too seriously. Just be happy. I'd rather have, if this is my last day, who knows? I'm always a bit like, I don't know if it's my last day, so I'm gonna have the best day ever. Why not? And yeah, there is down times, but like I said, cry it out and then pick yourself back up. Because yeah, it's not worth it. And there's always a solution. I've found there's always a way. Um, so yeah, you gotta work on it and be happy. Just be happy, even if you are faking it. One day you'll just become it.
And is there one song that makes you happy, that you like to sing, and when you hear it, kind of instantly puts you in a fantastic mood?
I have a lot of songs that I listen to. I used to listen to Andy Grammer. Andy Grammer he was called, and it was you gotta keep your head up, oh, and you can let your head down, eh. You gotta keep your head up, oh, and it was good because that just at the time when I was feeling like that just kept me going, and I remember having that on repeat. I think I bought it on iTunes for like I don't know 99p or whatever. Years ago, and I just remember that's what I'm going to listen to. But yeah, that always makes me feel good because I think in the words it explains how you're feeling, and then it's like because it says like I know it's hard, it's hard, but you've just got to keep your head up, and that's good. So I like that song.
I'll have to find it and have a little. I'll have a little sing song in the kitchen. I love a little kitchen sing song, and I feel in a great mood.
Yeah.
So what's the plan today, Kit? Will you be celebrating your nomination?
I'm getting my hair done. I'm getting my roots done. So that always makes me feel good. Glam yourself up. And then I'm actually going to see a friend of mine who I've not seen for a long time, which is nice. And we're going to watch a few of my other talented friends in a show that they're doing in Blackpool at the Showboat, which is really exciting because that's a new show that they've put together. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Sounds fantastic. What a lovely day ahead, and the sun's out, and it's going to be a joyous one, isn't it? Kit, it's been so lovely to have you in Benjy's Cafe podcast. Keep spreading the joy. Congratulations on your nomination and all your success so far. And it's just been lovely to have a chat with you today. And honestly, I wish you so much luck for what I'm sure is going to be a fantastic career ahead. Kitty Harris, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you so much, Ben. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. It's lovely to chat to you.
Thanks for listening to the lovely Kitty Harris. She is flying. Don't forget, a fresh new episode of Benjy's Cafe podcast drops every Tuesday. Just find us wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a follow so every episode gets sent straight to your phone. Tell your friends, tell your family, and if you can, please do leave a review. In episode 8, I'll be joined by the author of Not All Heroes Wear Capes, the inspirational John O'Lancaster. He's fantastic. I'll get the kettle on. Have a great day.